with me for flight? Honey, would you stay with me? As I know no man, you go there with me for life.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, and this is the Urban Talk Radio 103.5 FM WNHH, where you hear conversation, education, inspiration, information, and motivation from the American urban perspective. I am your host, Kingsley Osei. My co-host will not be here in the studio today. We have a very special guest, and this is one of our special programming of the Juneteenth. And today on Urban Talk Radio, you can join the conversation on Facebook at Bold Minds and Twitter. Also on my Facebook page, Kingsley OSEI. You can also stream this show on your smartphone or computer by logging on to newhavenindependent.org. And we are also streaming on all platforms, including YouTube, Twitter, etc., etc., etc. Today, we don't even have a very specific topic. We will just be talking to a special person, one of, I call it a product of Connecticut. He is an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a wife, a mother of three, a graduate, a CEO, and I can just go on and on and on and on. Please help me introduce Mrs. Clara K. Massaquoi. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Absolutely. Perfect.
Awesome. How are you, lady?
I am doing okay, even though I'm tired, but I'm so blessed to be on your show today. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. I see you very active. I just realized you have shared the post to your followers, and a lot of them are looking forward to checking in. I hope that they are checking in with us, and they'll get to know a little bit of what I think I know of you that they may not know of you.
Thank you. I'll definitely do share that. I'm having problem with the link over here.
Yeah, we always do. Zoom have a complication. It doesn't look like it's a one size fit all. It works different for different devices, different whatever. But we are on now. And before I ask you to introduce yourself, let me just try to make the formal introduction, just so that our listeners can get to know who is this special person that I have on the show today. Last week, I had another mompreneur on here, Miss Lily Annis. There was a very great show, very busy. She's also a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, just as yourself. So it's good to have a back-to-back. So Mrs. Clara Massaquoi is Clara is Virgo Awards Entrepreneur of the Year of 2020. She grew up in Zambia, where she attained much of primary education. She attended David Kaunda Technical High School before she went to the U.S. When she arrived in the U.S., she continued her secondary and undergraduate studies, attaining 2 degrees in human resources management and a minor in business administration. Deeply sensitized to her land, Africa, she embarked on a heartfelt humanitarian mission, thus birthing the Kalala Foundation, CKF, in 2006. The CKF is a registered non-for-profit in Connecticut with an operational arm in Zambia. Over the years, CKF has been a bastion of hope and prosperity for many refugees, predominantly children and infants orphaned by the civil conflicts. Through many outreach programs and collaborations with NGOs and state officials, the CFK has donated foster children education, girls education, as well as microfinance grants in underdeveloped rural areas. Check out their website, ClaraOrganicGolden.us. We have a lot to uncover today. Clara, that is very beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So let's start this journey. You came to the U.S. At what age did you come to the U.S.?
I was, I believe, 14.
14 years old. If I am not mistaken, I probably met you not too long after that. So let me tell you guys how I know Clara. I happen to know most of my guests all the time, right? I'm so freaking biased. I knew Clara, well, being the Ghanaian African that I am, all yams are not the same. All men are not created equal. All yams are not created equal. Clara is a foodie, so she's going to get me through this. Ghanaians, we got the best yam in the world. Just as Michael Blackson's trying to settle the best jollof rice between Nigeria and Ghana, hands down, it is Ghana. Case closed. We don't have to talk about it. No battle. We got this, right? So Clara used to work in an African market where, just a place to find a specialty shop for our needs. Whether I need a Milo, you don't go to a regular grocery store to buy a Milo if you're an African. You got to go to an African store to get that good made in Ghana or made in Ivory Coast Milo. All Milos are not the same. So I would go down there to get my yams and mackerel or whatever else I need. And, she was always behind the counter, and then, I'll take some time, I'll talk to her, and she was always studying. No matter how busy or how slow it is, you go down there and this girl is always studying. If I'm not mistaken, did you go to Houston County Community College?
Yes.
So I read through your stuff and I did not.
I went to, I'm sorry, Norwalk.
You were Norwalk Community College?
Yes.
So you are a product of Norwalk Community College. I mean, this thing has to go in your bio, because a lot of people think that they have to go to this big name colleges in order to gain stripes or get whatever it is. All it is stripes. But at the end of the day, you went to a community college and got your degrees to the extent of utilizing them for everything that you're doing. So now that I finished that part of the story, I need you to take it from there.
All right. So like you said, growing up, when I came to the US, thereafter, I believe a year later or so, my uncle opened an African store. Yes, that's why I met you, and I ran that store for some time until I started going to school, went to Norwalk. After that, I moved to North Carolina. Before that, we launched our foundation in Connecticut, 2014. That's when we started operating and doing charity work. 2016, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, went to North Carolina, and there went to school and got 2 degrees, one in business management and then human resources. Continued to work towards my goal. Got married, had 3 kids, and we started our business, the beauty, company. We started supplying PPE. When we launched our product in 2020, Walmart were interested in our product. We were so fortunate. So we're able to get in Walmart, 5-star rated there. We're able to get in Amazon. After that, we never looked back, continued to work on our charity work. As always, you cannot help everybody, but we tried our best to do with the little that we have to empower people, children especially. We have been working with children since 2014 in the Congo. If you're aware of what is going on in the Congo, a lot of kids go through a lot. So most of the time, we just, because of privacy and we try to respect the children, we don't like to put up their images or anything on social media until, they grow up and be able to stand on their own. And thereafter, they can decide. But we do receive emails, text messages of how they're doing. And, it's a passion of mine that I love doing that, and hearing stories of people that I've never met before. It just makes me happy, and blessed with great husband and family, very supportive. So that's all I can share right now.
Well, you give me a summary, and I would like you took a giant step, and I would like to go pieces by pieces because it's you are doing a whole lot, and you pretty much give me another summary, and you made it look so easy, and it wasn't that easy. First of all, how did you develop this passion of doing something for your country from going to college, coming out of college for whatever it is that you wanted to do, and boom, I'm not we talked about that being a CEO of your product, which we'll go back to that just so that we can get a good idea of what this product is, why this product is so special. But before we get back into that, let's elaborate on this global foundation that you have. You say you have passion, but what was driven by your passion? I have a nonprofit organization, Connecticut Against Violence, now Community Against Violence. I recall going to Ghana last year. I went back to my old school. They gave me the purple carpet treatment, and I felt like, what, I need to come back here and do something. You feel like you got to do things where you'll be appreciated the most. But at the end of the day, I love my, Connecticut, and I want to go back home and do for my community. And I follow you, and I see your joy from where you started to even seeing your name in Billboard in your country for your product. It's a good feeling. So let's get back to the passion driven to even starting this organization. How did that come along?
Well, like I said, I come from a very big family, where I believe we all were raised, everybody contributed to our upbringing. Let me just say that somebody brought something to the table that pushed you to where you are at the moment. So growing up, I saw especially Congo, Zambia, Haiti, and all those countries. I've seen it firsthand how kids just struggle even to put on shoes, food to eat. So I was like, God, if you give me the opportunity where I can be able to help even one person make it, and I believe that with that in mind, that person will do the same thing for somebody else. So I started very small with, just kids, sending them books, shoes, could be uniform, and just like the joy of these kids when they receive those things, like made me push even harder. They'll be like, "Oh, Aunt Clara, I've never wore a pair of shoes in my life. Oh, I've never had a new uniform to go to school. I've never had a new book bag." And I'm like, God, um, let me help as many kids as I can. And I know that when they grow up, and I see the testimonies, even the girls that I mentor, when some people just need it might not be financially, support, but sometimes they just need that person to talk to. Like the girls I've mentored, some of them coming out from abusive homes. It could be maybe their parents died, and then they never had anybody, to talk to. And that just expanded, the territory. And then now we have adults, right? We have mothers or fathers who have nowhere to go, maybe because they just not in the position to help themselves. So now we have gone from babies, to adults to, now God has blessed the effort where we're able to cater to as many people as we can. So the passion was mostly from those kids, and then it built it out from there.
And you're in how many different locations?
I'm sorry?
How many different locations are you in?
Okay, so now we are in Nigeria, Zambia, Haiti, and on Australia.
Australia. I mean, that feeling of giving is one feeling that you have to do to really understand. So, sometimes when I go to Ghana, I wake up early in the morning, I will have a lot of money changed. And, in this case, I'm going to school, just give them, get a little bit of money here, a little bit of money here. And just, listening to a kid at the age of, let's say, 6, 7 years old and saying, thank you very much. God bless you. The feeling of that and knowing that when he said God bless you, it really meant God bless you. And people don't understand that when you do for somebody, you don't expect back.
Absolutely.
You don't. You just don't know you don't know when something is going to happen and God is just going to protect you from that. I feel like that is the response of not expecting back by living it up to, to God. So when I do good for somebody, I wish that they just do good to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Return, if I do for you, if I give you resources to do something, hopefully you could share their resources with somebody else that's needed. So yeah, that is very beautiful. So in terms of mentorship, how do you mentor them?
Okay, so the girls that I've mentored, and I've had more girls or women than men, because sometimes I feel like men, it's hard for them like to open up, right? Because I know you guys have that, the chief, it's like, okay, it takes some time, but I've have, more coming up and trying to get help. So what I do with my mentorship, I offer my time to could be a group of people, because I believe in focusing on one person, right? I'm not going to mentor a whole bunch of people at one time. So I'm going to sacrifice my time, where last month it would be like 5 people. So I'm putting my focus on, those people to make sure that they actually get to their point where they want to be before I can take on another group. So that's what I do. So I will like ask you, like, what do you want? What do you want? Like, first of all, you have to define your purpose, right? Define your purpose. When you know the purpose, then that way we can move forward. And if you are willing to take on that challenge where you want to do better and go to the finish line, like last month, I had 2 girls that got their high school diplomas, and now they're looking to find work. So it's just that little push that some people need. Put them on focus, like, okay, switch your mindset. This is where I want to be, and what can I do to get where I want to be? And those are the people that I like to mentor, because what you need to do, and because you cannot force somebody to do what they don't want to do. So when it comes to mentorship, I want you to be all in. So that way, even if I'm putting in my resources, my time, I know that we're going to get to the finish line. And then when you finish, you're going to offer the same time. You might not do the same, but I'm glad that you are where you wanted to be.
Okay, so for everybody that's listening, for all your global listeners, and now we're talking about the men. How can men be in contact to give their support to mentor some of our young men?
Yeah, if you want to reach out to me, you can email me at claraorganicgarden.com or clarafernando@gmail.com.
Okay. Now we're talking about the Clara Kalala Foundation. We're going to get back, and then we're going to get into your product, which is the Clara. What is it? Clara Argan Oil Golden Shampoo.
Yes, that's our best seller. It's Clara's Organ Oil. So it's a shampoo and a conditioner. It's the top seller, and it's a shampoo and a conditioner. And I'll tell you, when we did our label, we just had the shampoo, but that is a shampoo and a conditioner. And a lot of customers that have gotten it, they
hold on to that thoughts. Hold on to that thoughts, because we're going to elaborate on that. Let's do a station ID, and then we'll be right back to talk about that.
Okay.
This is the Urban Talk Radio 103.5 FM WNHHLP. I am your host, Kingsley Osei, and if you are just joining us today on Urban Talk Radio, you can join the conversation on Facebook at Bold Minds and Twitter. Also on my Facebook page, Kingsley OSEI. You can also stream this show on your smartphone or computer by logging on to newhavenindependent.org and all platforms. In the studio with us today, we have our very special guest, it's Clara Massaquoi of Clara Kalala Foundation. And now we are going to talk about the Clara's Argan Oil. It says argan and not organ. Is it ARGAN? Is that correct?
Yes.
What's the difference between ARGAN and organ? Trying to school me.
Organ oil, it's the oil. We sourced it straight from Morocco. I guess the other one could mean as something else, but what I know, organ oil is ARGAN.
Okay, so now let's continue to by the way, I'm sorry, we were a little bit behind starting, so I did not really get a chance to ask you, how is the family? How is the kids, your beautiful family?
Oh, thank you. Everybody's doing well. They're out of school, so I'm enjoying time with them right now. I know they're very active, especially my last baby, Philomena. Very active, but I'm enjoying them being home, especially with, just them doing the same thing over and over. I'm glad they needed that break just to be out and just spend more time with them.
I will get back on that before we finish the show, probably to talk a little bit about your family. You have a very beautiful family. Just like myself, I share a part of my family to the world because, we have a world of misery. And if you could put a smile on somebody's face, it's a beautiful thing. You never know what's going on in somebody's home. Every home is not the same. And if you have that joy in your home and you can share it with the world and it can make somebody smile, it's a beautiful thing. I'm not saying share everything going on in your house, share the negativity going on in your house. You find how to control that negativity going on in your house. It's not for the world to know. But if you have anything positive going on in your house that you can share to the world, feel free. I share my daughter with the world, and people say, you know what, she have this smile and smiling is contagious. So if you put up that smile and it's going to, make somebody else smile who was having a bad day, feel free to do so. And I watched you raise that little girl from the very beginning before the other two came along, and it was such a beautiful thing. I just had my daughter. My daughter is about to be 3 years old. I watch you raise that little girl with so much joy, whether dancing, just, I've seen it all to a certain extent. So I just thought that I'll throw that out there and, and share what we have, the joy that we have, we can share it with the world because it makes a difference just so that you don't know.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. It's sometimes, social media. I've seen a lot of mothers, call me how do you manage? How do you get time to be with your family, to do this, to do that? What's your secret? And I always say time management, right? Time management is very important. And also, it matters with a person that you are sharing that life with, right? Sometimes just having that support to do things that you need to do also means a lot. So And more importantly, time management. Like I always have everything like planned. Like this day, especially when my day starts, I know what is the main thing that you need to do. You know, what are the main things that you need to do before you start your day? Like you start on with all those important things that you need to do. If you need to get especially when the kids are in school, it's more a little like, you're gonna do a lot of things and by the time they come back to school, but when they're home, it's like you sharing all that time together, so you're not really waiting for them to come or do anything. So more importantly, just to cut the story short, time management is very important, and doing the things that matters the most, because we can be so focused on things that don't matter, and then we lose on the things that matters the most. Especially like the kids. Your daughter is already 2 years old, right?
Yeah, she's going to be 3 in October 29th.
Oh my God. And she was just born like yesterday. So,
Exactly.
time goes by so fast. So
Yeah.
I want my kids to have as, much memories as they can with us, even if they grow up, go to school. Like I want them to know that, we had like just the upbringing. I'm more so of training a child. I would want them to really represent me when they're out there. Like just teaching them, the fundamentals, how to respect their elders, just about God. More importantly, when you teach them that from the beginning, it will be easier. It's not easy, but it's easier when you start them from, ground. My daughter, for example, you say you have watched her. She formed for the first time in their school. They have a class, Christ Club. That's what they call it. So she formed a group at a school where she talk about God and, just bring other girls to, talk about God, all that matters a lot. So I am so proud of the things that she does, even like fasting. My daughter will be like, Mom, I want to fast. And I'm like, oh Lord, I feel so guilty because I eat so much. And for her to be thinking about fasting and, helping her friends out, it's the foundation. So that's what really motivates me mostly about, family.
Um, Unapologetically, I kind of interrupted you to talk about family matters. This is why we don't have a topic for today, because you know everything is necessary, whether it being a mompreneur, raising a family, running a foundation, all that matters. So now let's get back to the Clara's argan oil. How did you come up with that? What inspired you to even come
So
up with that?
this Clara's organ oil started from my daughter Precious, right? So I tried so many products on I hear was not growing. Like I'll go buy this, and I ended up just having so much things in my house. So my husband was like, you know what? Why can't we just start formulating our own ingredients and see how it works? At first, I was just like, not even looking to say, oh, I'm gonna sell this one day or anything. So when he was like, you know what, we can start, that different things. So we started formulating our ingredients, writing down things and just doing so much research. And then we got our first product, that's the Clara's organ oil, and we used it on Precious. So here was just like growing. I'm like, oh my God. So I told my husband, I'm like, this thing is working. And so he was like, you know what? Let's try and give our independent people out there who don't know us, give them little samples, let them go try on themselves and see, the results. And we did that for like maybe 6 or 7 months. And everybody was like, oh my God, where did you buy this? where did you buy this? I'm like, this is our product. They're like, you guys should start selling this. With wildness, you guys too. A lot of people will love this product. In 2020, during COVID, is when we launched this product, and just everybody, you look at the reviews on Walmart, our website, a lot of people even call me and say, hey, Clara, thank you for making this product. And before we even launched this product, just to see how quickly people we didn't even spend so much on marketing. It's like everybody that bought our product marketed for us. They're like, oh, you need to buy this. You need to buy this. And I was like, no, this is our baby. When we wanted to be bought out after receiving so much, the reports, the sales and everything, we wanted to, this company reached out to us, wanted to buy us out. We're like, oh my God, this is still our baby. I know most of these companies, when they buy you out, they want to change so many things.
Yes.
So I was like, I know the money sounds so good, but not right now. This is our baby. We hold this brand. Yes, we hold this brand, and we have sourced every ingredient that we have there, because I used to look at I have 3 babies. I looked at the wash, the shampoo for the kids had so much harsh chemicals, and I'm like, God, that's why when we start growing up, our hair not just growing well, because it takes time. All those chemicals will catch up with you over time. Like we've seen girls are like, what happened to my hair? Why my hair not growing? Without knowing that there's so many harsh chemicals in those products. And if we can stick to this, I mean, this is our baby. So that's how we started the Clara's Organ Garden, through Precious.
I used to it's funny that you're saying that, because there's a product that I use for my face, Lucky Tiger. And I discovered this from my barber shop back in the days. And only the Muslims used to sell that. Because when I shave, I may get bumps. So I don't use nothing but Lucky Tiger. And I remember how pure and uncut it was. I guess somewhere down the line, they sold the products. They were bought out. And when they were bought out, it was just not the same anymore. It was bought out and then boom, it was watered down. It reminds me of Sylvia's restaurants in Harlem. I used to go down there in the 90s, shout to my man Billy Bush. We'll go to New York City for, to buy records or whatnot. And, we will always go to Sylvia's restaurant to go eat. Food, everything was just so good. And then boom, they were bought out. And the food was just not, it was the best soul food restaurant in the country, hands down. But they were bought out and then boom, there goes the watered down version. So yeah, if you're gonna sell it, you got to make sure that you have some type of control. But then again, it comes to mass production, and with the mass production, it's not under your control anymore. Depending on how much they bought you out for, you don't have that much control over it anymore. And they go from organically growing the product to fertilizing it, just to put them out there, get them in the Walmart, get them in there, get them in the Targets. People want it, it's demanded, and now they're not giving out quality anymore. They're just making sure that people are getting them as needed.
That is very true that you say that. Once you are being bought out, it's like mass production now. There's demand. Walmart needs a Target, beauty supplies, you name it, websites. So they're like, you know what? There's no need to wait on all those ingredients to come in so we can produce this product. Let's go. Keep rolling. And we just felt that at that time, I'm so attached to a product, and because I know the hard work that we put in. At the end of the day, the money is so good, but when I hear these people that write testimonies, it just let me hold on a little longer. Or even if I had somebody buy me out, I would rather go 50-50, where at least I have a say in my product. I just don't want being bought out and boom, like people are having now. It's no longer the product that I fell in love with. I mean, that's the challenge right there.
And even if you
That's the challenge.
51 you, 49 them.
You said what?
I said, and even if you have the upper hand, 51% you, 49 them. So you could still have some type of 1% control.
I'm telling you.
So how can people get this product, and where is this product right now? I know.
Okay, so our product, you can order it from our website. It's claraorganic.us. claraorganic.us. Or you can go to Walmart and type in, you go to Walmart website, walmart.com, and in their search button, just type in Clara Organ Oil and it will pop up. We are sold out in Amazon, and Amazon is the same thing, and on our website. So those are the 3 places you can buy our product from.
Awesome. Now, you have an intimate connection with your followers. You have about 10,000 plus followers on Instagram, and however you have on Facebook. You do go live periodically. I'm not sure if it's once a week, twice a week, or whatever. But you have this connection with followers. Talk to me about that. You have hundreds of people that checks in.
Yeah. Yeah, so I call them family, right? I don't necessarily call them followers,
Right.
because of just the bond that I have with them. And some of them I have not even seen them before in person, but just like I feel like I have a family because we help each other. I have a very great team. We try to help as many people as we want, people who need empowerment just to start up a small business, people who just need food. Some people just need, some kind of help. So we have that bond with, I call them family. And it's amazing. Like you have these people that you have never seen before, and they're just so much love and support. And when I'm talking to them live, I feel like, okay, this is my family because there's that connection, if you know what I mean. Like you have never seen people before, but then you feel so much connected to them. And sometimes I go to sleep, I'm like, this person needed this person needed this. Like, take it so personal, and I just don't know, but that's just how it is. I feel that connection.
Awesome. And thanks for correcting me, because I don't call them followers neither. Just like my CAV, I call them our CAV family. I tell kids that come into our program, you are not just a kid in our program. Are part of our family. I'm a phone call away at any time as needed. So yes, they're not followers. They are a part of their community. They are part of your family. Just a couple of things I would like to touch on before we probably have 5-6 minutes. Let's talk about your love for music.
I love, I'm old school, right?
Yes.
I'm old school, and I love R&B, more of like gospel music. My kids, you won't believe it, they love to dance, and
I won't believe it, because I know you've been dancing with them just like myself. My daughter loves to dance, and she's grabbing me ready to dance all the time. I said, Daddy loves to dance with you, but Daddy's not a dancer. That is not the best dancer in the world, So yes,
yeah, I love the gospel. I love every music that tells a story, because nowadays, especially like the hip hop world, and is the music out there is just not the same as the music. Like I call myself old school, so I enjoy that old school music. Because it tells the story, it's teaching something. If it's not gospel, it's like, okay, we gonna listen to something that's gonna motivate somebody. And then I'm dancing to what I'm listening to. Like, and mostly, like, I don't know if you are familiar with like Congolese music, the beat. My son loves that. It could be gospel, and it would just be like, and the father can dance too. He
What does his father do? What does your husband do? I know he's very supportive of your businesses, et cetera, et cetera.
is a software engineer.
What is it?
A software engineer.
Oh, software engineer. Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Let me see. We got a couple of more minutes to go. Fashion. You have a love for fashion. Big, 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 big love for fashion.
Yeah, so fashion has always been, my thing. I remember when I was like a little younger, trying to like sew stuff for myself, and just like putting out fashion there that means something, right? For example, you go to a wedding, like you want to feel unique, you want to dress as you. So that's some of the things that I enjoy doing. I've put it on hold for now because I had like so many things, but once in a while I put up pieces together, just think about a design that I want to do, and then I'll put it to life and sell some pieces once in a while. But before, I was so more into it. Like, I used to sell a lot of pieces, like weddings and, all kind of stuff. But now I feel like I'm like coming out a little bit, but then I'm like there at the same time. So we're working on the website because a lot of people reach out to me like, Clara, I want to buy this. And I feel like, okay, it's time to have my website back up. And so people can go there and just enjoy some of the little designs that I do.
So you are the one that actually makes the dress alike clothing with your kids.
Yes.
You mix your own dresses that you wear.
Yes. So I design them and then I have my tailor. They'll put in like sew it for me, but I definitely design everything for my kids. Yeah.
So let me say this real quick. I know we have about 3 more minutes. I knew you at what age?
You said what?
I knew you at what age?
I think maybe when I was like 18, 17.
Yeah, about 18. Okay. So let's say I have said it on this air so many times. There was a time when I wasn't proud to be an African in the US just because of how we were portrayed and bullied and everything. So there were those times where, we were embarrassed to wear our, African clothing because we didn't fit in this society of, Black people not looking at us like we were one of them. And now here comes this, African bubble through Afrobeats. It's not about one channel network just telling us about Africa. It's about this one right here, the social media network giving the real insight of the beauties of Africa. I was watching. I stay up late, and I watch. I watch these shows, just so that I can really get an understanding of people. And I seen this, the Davido podcast with Drink Champs, and it was such. I'm not sure if you've seen it or Davido's story. It's so interesting. This man is the godson of the richest Black man in the world. He talked about how rich his father is, how his father wanted to make sure that he kept him in school and he kept running out of school because he just had passion for music and just going on and on and on. It was just such and you sometimes you look at these artists and they are so big and you can automatically paint them as all the same, being cocky or whatever. Davido happened to be such a humble kid, and he tells you it's all because of his upbringing, which is what he's happening. But I say all this to say that For you, how do you feel now that you feel so comfortable in your African clothing, better now than ever? Now everybody wants it as opposed to before. How do you feel? It's just for wrap up.
I mean, it's amazing because I remember when I went to the US, a lot of kids like didn't want to stay in school because they were being bullied about, because a lot of, and I feel like it's not them, it's what they were being told or what they were watching at that time. So, like you said, social media now has, people now can travel. People now know that Africa is rich, right? We a lot of people doing. I mean, there's corruption here and there, but you're not gonna discount what the resources, the things that Africa brings to the table. So there's nothing to be ashamed about, and I'm so glad that the world can see the beauty of Africa. It comes to music, clothing, like so it's just so amazing. So I feel so happy that Africa has been recognized everywhere. It comes to music, all big stages, the Davido, the Burna Boys, all the gospel singers, and it's such a great feeling. Like, all those kids that are coming now from Africa, they don't have to feel the way that other kids used to feel that time. Because I have little kids that be like, I don't want to go to school because I'm going to be bullied, because some kids thought Africa, they just came from monkeys and all kind of stuff. So I feel great that now this generation don't have to go through that.
Awesome. Well, I had the pleasure of working with Akon from day one, and he used to wear this T-shirt says "Believe in Africa." Akon had a vision this was going to happen, and he kept telling NBA players, everybody, stop complaining and just go to Africa and put your money where your mouth is. So, on that note, Miss Clara, please tell us how you can be reached again.
You can reach me on Facebook, Clara K Massaquoi, Instagram, Clara, _ Massaquoi, or you can reach out to me through our website. You can you can look up our website. It's claraorgan.us or claregordon.us. So we have two websites, and you can email me, clara@claraorganicgordon.com.
Thank you very much for joining us. This is the Urban Talk Radio 103.5 FM WNHH. I am your host, Kingsley of State, and if you are just joining us on the last part of our show, you can join the conversation on Facebook and phone line. You can also stream this show on your smartphone or computer by logging on to newhavenindependent.org and also on my Facebook page, Kingsley OSCI. Thank you for joining us. Remember, Urban Talk Radio airs every Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful things you're doing for Connecticut. I'm so proud of you, so proud of the family, and it's an honor to have me on your show. I'm really grateful. Thank you